All right. Okay. Here we go. Hey everyone, I'm Big John, and welcome to another episode of the Diz Ability Show live. All right. This week, I want to talk about some snack tips. Now, when you go to Disney, it's always best to have snacks with you so that your batteries are charged, so to speak. Now, we always bring snacks with us to the parks. So we save money, but also like to buy snacks just in case of an emergency. Now, because of my autism, I need to have snacks with me so that my blood sugar is in balance. And I'm sure a lot of you feel the same way. And we always like to buy snacks as well. Like if there's a ice cream stand, I'll either get a Mickey ice cream or a fruit bar. If you haven't tried the fruit bars, they're so good. And of course, we always, like I said, we bring some of our own snacks as well because it helps us save money. So make sure you bring snacks with you to the parks so that you not only need them, but you're also saving money. So anyway, that's my tip. As always, if you have any questions on how to do Disney for people with disabilities, let me know in the chat if you're watching this live or in the comments if you're watching this later, and I'll make sure it gets into a future episode. And now it's time for this week's Top 5. So, Disneyland's Fantasyland is the centerpiece of the park, like at every Magic Kingdom Disneyland style park in the world. But more so at Disneyland because of some of its fantastic and unique attractions. So this week, we are going to cover my top 5 Disneyland rides, and at the moment I see 18 people are watching. So if you're watching, and comment if you want, and make sure you subscribe. So this week we are going to cover my top 5 Fantasyland rides. Now keep in mind, these are rides that are in Disneyland's Fantasyland. Number 5, Snow White's Enchanted Wish. Now, well, thank you, Sammy Squad. Fan of me or a fan of Disney? Well, thank you, Sammy Squad. Alright. So, Snow White's Enchanted Wish. So, many moons ago, I rode the old Magic Kingdom ride back when it was Snow White's Scary Adventures, and it lived up to its name, especially with the witch. That ride's no longer at Walt Disney World, but at Disneyland, they made it more child-friendly. And even though the witch is still there, but it's less frightening now, which I think is good. Number 4, the Storybook Land Canal Boats. So this is a fun little boat ride where you get to ride along the miniature versions of homes of many different storybook and Disney characters. And it's so amazing. I mean, it really feels like you're floating through the homes of different characters from these different stories, and it's amazing. It really is. And it's I know it's a kiddie ride, but it's more of a family ride if you think about it. Number 3, Pinocchio's Daring Journey. Now, you might think this is a fun ride, or you might think this ride is a little sinister, especially the part where they turn kids into donkeys and try to ship them away. Yeah, that's kind of, that was like early Disney when things were a little weird. Yeah. But it's still a great ride. The more Jiminy Cricket in the parks, the better. Number 2, Matterhorn Bobsled. Now, this was Disneyland's very first thrill ride. And over the years, they've revitalized it. They put some light into the old crystals. And, of course, the audio animatronic Yeti that got a bit of an upgrade 10 years ago for the 60th. Now we're in the 70th. And it's become more thrilling if you think about it. And my number 1 ride at Disneyland's Fantasyland, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. So, some of you may remember when this used to be back at Walt Disney World back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. But it is still a fan favorite at Disneyland. Again, kind of sinister, especially when you're in HE double hockey stick. And it's great. I mean, you don't get a lot of Wind in the Willows in the parks these days. So it is great that we still have Mr. Toad. And I hope Disney keeps it around for a while. So let me know in the chat or in the comments what's your favorite ride is at Disneyland's Fantasyland, or at any Fantasyland for that matter. It doesn't have to be Disneyland. It could even be from one of the international parks. If you've been to one of those. It's on my bucket list. And now it is time for Diz or Dat. Now, on both coasts, Big Thunder Mountain is truly the wildest ride in the wilderness. At Disneyland, it's right smack in the middle of Frontierland. And it has that goat with the dynamite in its mouth, which I think is very funny. And, of course, the big dynamite ending. And at the Magic Kingdom, of course, it's still under its year-long refurbishment. And it's right in the back of Frontierland. But we know it's going to get a new starting scene. And hopefully, the dynamite ending that we have at Disneyland. So, let me know in the chat or in the comments which version of Big Thunder you prefer. Diz, the Disneyland version, or Dat, the Walt Disney World version. And now it's trivia time. All right, last week we asked how old was Meredith Blake in 1998's The Parent Trap? The correct answer was 26. Congratulations if you knew the answer. And now, here is this week's Trivia Time question. What is the name of the current fireworks show at the Magic Kingdom? Be the first one in the chat or in the comments with the correct answer, and you will receive 100 cool points. So, Disney, so we're not even in October yet. And we're still in the middle of the Halloween season at Walt Disney World and Disneyland. However, the first night for Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party in November has already sold out. That's right, we're still in the middle of Halloween, and yet they just sold out the first Christmas party of the year, which is kind of crazy. But just goes to show you that how big these after hours parties are. I mean, I know I've never been to a Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, but I have been to the parks at Christmas time once they have finished the parties, because once they're done with the parties, they move all the special offerings to the daytime, which is great. I mean, you get the parade, the fireworks, some of the specialty entertainment, which is just sort of like with the Halloween party, except in the Halloween party, all that stuff is party exclusive. And as you know, I will be doing another Not So Scary this year coming up in October. And of course, I'll be sharing some great content from that. So make sure you've subscribed and stay tuned in the future. And if you've ever been to either the Not So Scary or Very Merry's, let me know. And let me know your thoughts. So anyway, that's our show. As I said, if you have any questions on how to do Disney for people with disabilities, let me know in the chat if you're watching this live, or in the comments if you're watching this later, and I'll make sure it gets into a future episode for this week's shoutouts. Make sure you guys check out Just a Guy and a Girl. They do great live streams from Disneyland. Definitely check them out. Also, make sure you guys check out Princess and the Bear. They do great vlogs, great food vlogs from the parks. Definitely check them out. Also, make sure you guys check out my buddy Mike, the Park Knight. He did a vlog yesterday from Hollywood Studios and Epcot. Definitely check that out. Also, make sure you guys check out Fresh Baked for all things Disneyland. If you haven't subscribed here yet to the Big John Network, what in the Walt Disney World are you waiting for? And ding the bell for notifications so you never miss a second of the fun. And until next time, may the mouse be with you.